Okay, well, hi everybody. It's good to see you guys. I don't always make it Tuesday nights, so it's good to be on. But I'm going to mostly screen share. We're going to talk about some things that we um, saw at Leadership Retreat. So I'm going to turn my video off and screen share some stuff. And I'm not so sure how well this is going to go for just a second. So just give me just a second. Hang on a second. I think what I want is this. Can you see that picture?
Yes.
Can you see that? That says
Yep.
Empowered Success? You can see that?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So, so Empowered Success is new from the old Share Success, which I've loved for years. I've used it for a very long time for myself and also for a lot of our leaders. And so I'm really excited that doTERRA has updated a lot of their materials for us, and I think they're just super great materials. So I have to figure out how to go from one picture to the next, so just bear with me for a minute, because it was letting me do this earlier, but for some reason, okay. So Eric Larson was talking about some of the new booklets that are available. And so if you just go to doterra.com and then go to the menu bar where it says Our Advocates, and we'll go through this later, you'll find it underneath the education section, and it's just going to say Empowered Success. Okay, so it's pretty easy to find. And so the first thing that's going to be different is this is the Natural Solutions class, and I know a lot of us are familiar with this, but this is actually the class guide now that's in the class in a box. So it's not the older one that you guys might be more familiar with. So it's the Natural Solutions class. And the next thing is they also have the Healthy Can Be Simple booklet. And you can download that. You can also order all of these. Well, you can order almost all of these. I'll tell you the ones that are not available yet to order. But these ones you can order directly from doTERRA. And you can get them in singles or 10 packs, and I think also in 20 packs. But you can also just download these, and I'll show you that a little bit later. So the Live Guide has been updated, and there's a really great video that kind of goes through the Live Guide, and it talks about just the wellness lifestyle with doTERRA, and it breaks down the wellness pyramid and just targets those different parts of the pyramid with products that we have. And so a lot of times we do like our intro class, like the Essential Oils 101, you might call it the Natural Solutions class, whatever. But so people learn about those 10 oils, but they don't necessarily get to see all of the products that we have to offer. And so this is a really good tool to use to follow up with your people after they have come to a class and get their oils. So that's updated. The share guides. Yeah.
Can you expand your view?
I can try, but it wasn't letting me.
There you go.
The arrow's like way over here, and I can't. Hold on a second. Unless there's a way for me to. So I see all of you guys on the right side, and I move what?
Move them to the left. Just grab hold of everybody and click on the very top and move it over.
Hey. Okay. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So the new build guide. So it says people choose the doTERRA opportunity for different reasons. So some want to jump on board to earn extra money, but other people really love our mission. And so so really kind of talk about both. When you're talking to people, you go through the Live Guide, and then you introduce to them the next step, is what they call it, which would be the Share Guide, and inviting them to host a class. And then also inviting them to the business opportunity is really, really important, because even if they say no, someday they might be like, oh my gosh, I should check out doTERRA. And you might be surprised who says, yes, I want to learn more about the business with doTERRA. So don't leave the share and the build guides out, or those steps out, because it'll help expand your network for sure. And it'll plant a seed in people's, minds, just like, gosh, I could do doTERRA as a business, or I could host a class and get some free stuff or whatever. So this is where things kind of get a little different from the guides they had before, except for there should be a launch guide in here. I wonder why that's not in here. Anyway, there is a launch guide, but maybe I skipped it, or maybe I just didn't put it in here. I guess I didn't put it in here, but we'll look at that later. So the launch guide comes before this one. So this one says doTERRA Train, and this is going to help people get to Premier and Silver. Okay, but the launch guide is one that they've had for a while, and the launch guide just really introduces them to the whole concept of, like, doing daily pipes, like building your pipeline and what that looks like, and making your names list, and how to schedule your classes and all that. And the launch guide really helps people focus on getting to elite. Okay, so, and the reason why is because we know that elites will make silvers, and silvers will make diamonds, platinums too, but diamonds too. And so, so if you can, like, multiply your people to just build to elites and elites and elites to silvers, then you'll get to platinum and diamond and so forth. So after the launch guide, it's going to help you to this train guide is going to help you to get to Premier and Silver. So it's going to help you prioritize your time, master teaching, and nurture your team. So as your team grows, your role as a leader will kind of evolve. I mean, a lot of the things that we do are the same or similar, but there are some things that are gonna change and evolve for us. And so these guys are going to help us just know what tasks we need to be doing as leaders to help us grow, but also to help our leaders grow. So this one is also available. You can just add these to your next LRP order if you want, and you can get one of each to check them out, or however many you need for your team, or encourage your team to get some as well, just depending on where they are in their building process. So the next one is lead. And this was, so building belief in your builders and nurture a culture of duplication. Okay, so again, you're going to find new building tools and new building strategies in this book that are different from the Premier and the Silver book. This one is also available. The next one is doTERRA Multiply. So this is getting from gold to platinum and diamond. Okay, so inspire and invite others to join your movement. I think this is the first one that's not available yet to purchase, like, in hard copy, but I'm pretty sure you can download it from the website, and we're going to go to the website here in just a couple minutes. So then, of course, the next one is going to be empower your influence to blue diamond. So creating a greater freedom for you and your leaders. And the last one is inspire leadership at presidential diamond. Be a guardian of the culture, and your legacy is what you do for your team. So just to kind of give you an idea of what those look like and what the themes are for each rank as you go. So let Empowered Success be the spark to ignite your business. A lot of people do really, really well with systems like this, and they love having, like, like just the written out step-by-step plan, and they follow it to a T. And some people, like me, just glean what they can and what they feel like is going to help them, and use the tools that are really good for your leadership style and that kind of thing. But I really do encourage everybody to look at these and to use what you feel like is going to be beneficial to you, and even get a little bit in your, like, uncomfortable zone, out of your comfort zone, and use some of the tools that you don't think you would normally use because they can be really powerful. Like I very much, or tracking Power 3 necessarily, but when I do that, I just feel like I'm so much more on top of my game, and I can just see exactly like who, where we need to fill in the holes. And speaking of rank tracking and Power 3 tracking, there's a lot of new online tools that are available now, like these. But coming soon, there's going to be a Power of 3 tracker that you can, I think you just put your wellness advocates, their names and ID numbers, and it'll just kind of automatically calculate numbers for you throughout the month. So you can just click on that and just look at your numbers really quick. You don't even have to like do all the hard work. And same thing for ranking. That should be coming early summer. And if I remember correctly, those are going to be able to be found in the team tab in your back office. And so correct me if I'm wrong, anybody else was at leadership, but I think that's how that's going to work. So let me just see. Okay, so we're not going to talk about this yet. I'm going to stop sharing this for a minute. And I do want to share from the website. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that. Give me just a second. Okay, can you see that doTERRA website?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go to our advocates here. We'll look at what this looks like from the website, maybe. But this is doing some weird stuff, isn't it? Why is it being so weird? Should be in here. Let me just try. Let me try getting in here again because I wasn't pulling up all the tabs correctly. Spot in my house. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Okay, so from here, if we go to our advocates, go down to the education section, and you'll see right here it says Empowered Success. So if you scroll down, you're going to see all of these guides that are available. So all of these have videos that go along with them. There's also the Natural Solutions class has videos, but the Essential Emotions does not have any videos. Okay, and the Healthy Can Be Simple, there's no video for that. But let's just look in the launch guide for a minute. So you can download this and take a look at all of the pages right here, and then here are the videos. There's the Natural Solutions class and then Empowered Success launch. So I would encourage you guys to check these out because it's really going to teach you how to utilize this tool to the fullest. Let me go back. The Natural Solutions class is great. When you get your new class in a box, there is no DVD in there anymore, but it'll have like a step-by-step telling you how you can access the class online. But you can also purchase a DVD if you really feel like that you need that DVD instead of using the class online. But if we go in here, shows you what the new class in a box looks like. And then here are the videos, which is fantastic. So there's, it's still kind of loading, but this is the class, the Natural Solutions class that takes you through the booklet. And then Holding a Successful class. This is not just for you, but it's for whoever is hosting, and it's just going to give them tips on how to maximize the opportunity to, have the most amount of guests there and just have a really good, successful class. And once you see these next 3 load, the introduction to doTERRA and what is an essential oil and why choose doTERRA, these are the 3 that we see when we open up our own personal websites. Okay, so these are on here as well. I don't use the introduction to doTERRA too often, but I almost always use these ones. What is a doTERRA, or what is a doTERRA essential oil and why doTERRA? And I really talk about those. And then the neat thing is that the 10 oils that are in the Home Essentials and the Family Essential Kit, they have brief videos, and these videos are basically the videos that you're going to find from the doTERRA Daily Drop app. Okay, so they're very brief. And these are fun to just share on social media, just to kind of put out there, like, hey, you need some tummy support? Check out this. And I always tell them how long it is. Check out this 2-minute video. Because a lot of people are kind of hesitant to click on videos because they're like 45 minutes long. And they don't necessarily have 45 minutes. But if you just tell them it's only 2 minutes, like, hey, I can check this out in 2 minutes. And then what is the LRP is here. And then again, this just kind of helps you learn how to use this whole system a little bit better. So everything's right there. And then it reminds us not to forget the next step. Make sure you're following up with a live guide. And then from the live guide, if you do a wellness consultation or however you want to do that, make sure you introduce the share guide and the build guide as well. So it's all inclusive. Everything's just right here. So I love the Natural Solutions class part. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay. Okay. So I think once we get to the train section, building to Premier and Silver, this is where they're still working on things. And they don't have videos yet. So you'll see down here on the lower left, they're going to be coming soon, but I'm not sure exactly when. But you can get the actual booklets if you want to order those. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I will put my screen back on. We're going to talk about one other thing, which is Empowered You and the Clifton Strength Assessment that they really, really focused in on during Leadership Retreat. But before we do that, does anybody have any questions at all about the Empower Success? You guys are all using it? You guys are pros. Or else I did a really good job like showing you how to find all that stuff, which is good.
Yeah, I have a quick question. So when you're teaching your team to use this, or you're someone who may be interested in the business, do you work through this with them one-on-one, the launch guide specifically, or is this something you give to them and just allow them to watch videos? I mean, kind of what is the progression where they go from expressing an interest to getting this in their hands, and how much interaction do you have with these guides to help them? I mean, maybe it's different for each person.
Yeah, it is. I've done it a couple of ways because my favorite way to do it is to just do like a weekly call and just kind of go through. There's like steps, like it's like I think in the launch guide there's like 12 different steps, and so you just kind of go through page by page and just walk them through how to get their business started, and that's worked really well for a lot of our leaders. And then I've also done like online groups where they all have their materials, and I would just do like Facebook Live videos and share the videos, in a private Facebook group, and have had them kind of do it on their own. And so I did that to help my leaders help their leaders, And some of them were doing it one-on-one with their people, and some of them were just doing it to introduce how to build a doTERRA business for those who were interested, but who weren't necessarily committed yet. So your committed builders, I would personally go through it like one-on-one, just accountable, just do like a weekly call, touch base, however you want to do that. And then those are the two ways that I've used them personally. I do have one gal who has her stuff, and she does weekly calls like in a group that we do, but she's not interested in doing like a weekly call with me just to go through the launch guide, because she's just very much just self-motivated, and she just is going through it and is rocking it out on her own. So it's, yeah.
I'll cross my fingers for people like that then.
Those are the best, right? Not always. That's not very fair to say, but I know what you mean. Anybody else?
Joni, this is Iris.
Hi, Iris.
Hello there. Do you know how much each one costs? Are they still $1 a piece, or?
They're all different. I know some of the guides, like I know the one to gold is a little bit thicker, and I think that one was like $3 something for like a single. But then some of the other ones, like the Live, Share, Build guides, are pretty inexpensive, like when you get a 10-pack. But the pricing is different, like per packet. So it's not like a set price for every single booklet.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you bet. And so it's nice that they have the option to just download it too. Do you know what I mean? So you don't necessarily have to have a hard copy or like a whole packet of it. And I've, people who are like out of state who didn't have like a packet, they opted into just downloading it, and they must have just printed it or something off their computer. So that's another option as well.
So I want to say something real quick before you move on.
Sure.
So the reason that I had Joni get on and talk about this is because she used the Share Success program for a long, long time before doTERRA moved into this system. And so what we hear people talking about is that we want systems. Everybody wants a system, and there's all kinds of systems out there. And so this is the system that, as people ask for something for support and help to be able to build their business and support their team and on, this is the program that I will recommend personally, because this is from making it better and better, and have invested lots of money to ensure that we have very that we need. And so I think I will have to do the same thing as what doTERRA is used as we're building the business, because this will be the best of the best.
Yeah, and that's one thing they talked about, is that this is a proven system, and the nice thing is it keeps everybody on the same page. And so they really talked about like keeping everything like as simple as possible, and so that we can just duplicate the process in all the different areas that we share doTERRA. And so, yeah, I've always loved it. It's my favorite. I'm really happy that they went with this system specifically. So if you have more questions, like, don't forget them, but we're going to move on to the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So back to screen sharing. Let's see this right here. Okay, so they really, they focused on people finding out what their top 3 leadership strengths are. And so I don't know who was at convention last year, but this guy named Jared, who is from Gallup, he was there again at Leadership Retreat. No. Let's see. Okay. So, and they're focusing on discovering our style of leadership and what our top 5 strengths are. And so these are the 4 categories. So executing, influencing, relationship building, and strategic thinking. And so on our little name badges, there are 5 spots where after we took the Strength Finder assessment, we could put our stickers on our name badge and people could kind of see what our strengths were, and we would have them handy to look at and remind ourselves of what they were as they were talking about really just focusing in on our strengths. And so there are a total of 34 strengths, and we only just looked at our top 5, and they made this assessment available to us. And when I got my results, I was disappointed. and when I saw my husband's results, I just laughed because I should have known. Okay, so I'll tell you why in just a minute. So they have these different colors, purple, yellow, blue, and red. And I'm thinking, okay, it's going to make sense that everybody just has like a really strong like 1 in each category. And all of mine were purple and blue. And so I was like, what? I'm like, that just, I wouldn't even picked the ones, honestly, I don't think I would have picked all of the ones that I was assigned from the assessment. And they're not bad. I mean, there's nothing bad about them. But I wanted to be a rainbow. Like I wanted to have at least 1 in each color and then like, you know, like a second one in another color. And I didn't. And my husband's were all red, like all 5 of them were red. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should have known that, right? And so, so as we were going through these different sessions, they were talking about each category. So executing, okay, so these people know how to make things happen, and they have the ability to catch an idea and make it a reality, okay? And so in these 2 purple boxes right here, these are the strengths that kind of fall under purple. And I think I had belief and consistency and responsibility from this section. So in the influencing category, these people know how to take charge, speak up, and make sure the team is heard. And so you can see, again, what those different strengths are in those 2 yellow boxes. So at first I was like, that's so messed up. Like, I don't have any strong influencing skills, right? The next one was relationship building. So these people have the ability to build strong relationships that can hold a team together and make the team greater than the sum of its parts. And so here I had relator, and I don't know what the other one was actually. I think it was connectedness, but I can't remember. And the last one is strategic thinking. And so these people help teams consider what could be. They absorb and analyze information that can inform better decisions. And so my husband had 5 of these 8. And so just to kind of give you a brief idea. So the main message here that they really hit home on, there was 2 actually. This is the first one. Might have been the second one. But they were really just encouraging people to focus on your strengths and to shine more brightly. And a lot of times we look at how people will build their business and they're so successful, and we're like, oh my gosh, okay, I got to do it the way they're doing it, because however they're doing it, it's working for them. So it has to work for me. And so we try to kind of take on the strengths that they're operating in and take it on ourselves. But in the process, we end up kind of quenching our own strengths and not really focusing on who we are and how we operate the best. And so that circle, we are not supposed to be well-rounded. Okay, so obviously they have a star here because there's 5 points, which would be our 5 strengths. And when you really focus in on your 5 top strengths, that's when they're magnified, and you can, it says focus on your talents and be the star that you are. And you'll actually shine brighter being who you are, operating in those top 5 strengths. And you're going to find a lot more success, a lot more productivity, a lot more joy in what you do. I don't know if you're like me, but when I've tried to do things like somebody else and it's just not my strength, it feels heavy and it feels hard. But when I'm doing things the way that I just naturally do them well, like that for me is a lot more fun, and where I find a lot more joy in my work. And not even just my work, but just in life in general. So I really love this. So this is Donald O. Clifton. And this is kind of who the test was named after. But I really love what he says here. He says, what will happen when we think about what is right with people rather than fixating on what is wrong with them? And so so this is where this whole like strength assessment kind of stemmed from, which is so true, I think. So learning what our strengths are, that was kind of the first step. And this one was the one that really hit my heart, because I was like, oh my gosh, like you're being such a crybaby that you're not a rainbow and you're like purple and you're purple and you're blue. And so they were really talking about, first you got to learn what your top 5 strengths are, and then you got to love it. You got to love that. Like, you got to love who you are. Like, there's no right or wrong combination. And all of these strengths are really, really good characteristics. Like, there's no bad strength, you know? And then learning how to live it. And doTERRA has put a new tool out there for us on their website that we'll look at in a minute, that's going to help us learn kind of how to live out our strengths. So learning it is highlighting your strengths, discovering your team's strengths, which I'm really excited to do with my team. So now that I know what my strengths are and I have like a description and kind of know what that looks like, even though really did surprise me. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't know myself as well as I thought I should. But learning what the people on your team, what their top 5 strengths are, really going to help us understand what makes them tick. Like, what's the drive? What's the motivation? Like, what's the passion, you know, like behind what they do and how they do it. And we'll be able to relate to them as leaders and you know, business partners better. And loving it, tell everybody what your strengths are. You're going to be, it's going to help you just kind of be more proud of that and who you are, and value them more, study success, and recognize your talent. And then living it, give examples of times that you have found success doing what you do in your strengths. Because a lot of times we think, well, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it that way. But then if you think about your successes where it's like, well, I've done it before. Well, surely I can do that again, right? And then it kind of just gives us that motivation to keep working in our strengths to do it again. Get specific and continually coach. And so let's see if there's anything else here. I can't remember how many slides I had up here. That must be the last one. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and now I want to show you where you're going to find, let's see, how did I do that? Because I'm really not super computer savvy. So let me figure out, oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, so going back to our advocates, and again, it's under education. Remember, we found the empowered success. And right underneath that, you're going to find a link for empowered you. So doTERRA is really encouraging us as leaders to do this strength finder, okay? And I posted the link to the Clifton, it's called Clifton Strength Assessment, in my team's group. And I've encouraged them to go in and do the assessment. So to get your top 5 strengths, it's like $19 to purchase and do the assessment. It takes like 30 or 40 minutes to complete. Excuse me. And then it'll give you what your top 5 strengths are. If you have to know all 34 in order, you can purchase your list of 34. And I think to get access to that, it's like $89 or something. So, okay, so doTERRA Empowered You looks like. If you scroll down, what is Empowered You? It'll tell you what that is. What are strengths? You can read through that later. And why does it matter? And so, where are those videos? Should be a whole bunch of videos here. So where are they? Let's see. Give me just a second. Because
You scroll down and click that. Yeah, there they are.
this one right here. Okay, here we go. So living your strengths. Once you get your top 5, from the Clifton strength assessment, it'll give you a description, like one that you can read, but also a video describing what your top 5 are. But the reason why this tool is really important is because as your team takes this assessment, they can say, okay, well, these are my top 5: achiever, includer, activator, context, and input. And so you can go in and be like, okay, so-and-so had context, so let's just see what that looks like for her. And you're not gonna hear the audio on here because I didn't select the audio option. But you can go in, it's like a 2-minute video explaining to you what this person, like describing this person's strength. Okay, and so you kind of get to learn more in depth or in detail about your leaders. And so this is a really, really good tool. Okay, so that's going to take a while because I have like a really weak connection right now. But so these are all the ones for strategic thinking, all the ones for the influencing style, relationship building, and executing. They're all there. Okay. So anyway, so I don't know, Romy, I don't know if you want to put the link in Rockstars or how you want to do that, but and encourage people to take that and just share it with their teams. But that's what I did for ours. And so I've been talking to them personally about the benefit of doing the Strength Finder assessment. And I'm excited to see like what they come up with. So we'll do some team sharing on that as people continue to complete that assessment. And so, so that's it. That's all I had to share with you today. Except for, no, wait, I just want to tell you guys, I don't know if you know this, but doTERRA has a whole collection of ebooks also. And you can look at them in text, but you can also, some of them have an audio option as well. And there's a whole bunch of different topics out there. So that's another really great tool that you can share with your people as well, just to get more education out. But that's it. Other than that, I'm done. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And I love my purple and red, my purple and blues now. Like, I'm okay with not being a rainbow. Like my husband was like, well, the yellow and red ones are probably like 6 through 10 or something. And I was like, well, maybe not, but that's okay. I'm happy with my blue and purple. So.
I'm blue and purple. My favorite color, so I'm good. Does anybody have any questions? Comment?
You kind of break it up a little bit, at least on my end. Could be me,
Yeah,
though.
my internet just showed unstable.
Hey, do you know if doTERRA will make it so if a leader buys their strengths, thing and does it, that they can share that link. Like if they want to purchase a mass, I guess, a group quiz for their team, because a lot of people can't afford to do the $20 to find out their strengths. So do you know if doTERRA has an option or will be putting out an option so the leader can purchase like a package for their team and give the link to certain people so that they can do their own strength finder?
I don't think that they didn't mention that anything like that, did they, Karina? I don't remember.
No, the thing that they partnered with the Gallup on was the videos, was having access to all of those videos, but not necessarily being able to purchase a bulk testing. But I bet you could go through Gallup and do it.
Yeah, through Gallup you can. It's actually really cool. That's how I took my first time that I did this. You go on and you sign up as a coach or whatever, and then you buy so many licenses and you can send those out. And when your person completes it, it'll email you their results.
That's awesome.
And also just on the app, if you download their app, you can share with friends. So like LaTaryn, you could get the app and I could share my results with your email address and you could share yours with me.
That would be awesome.
The very best way to get your code, in my opinion, I like what Kenzie just said, but you can actually get the book off of Amazon for like somewhere between $15 and $17 depending on the day, and it has a code in the back of the book. So you're not only getting the code to take your quiz, but you're also getting, you know, a really great overview of each of the different types as well.
Can multiple people use that?
No.
Okay.
Just it's one person per code. But it's cheaper than, I think, like even through the app it's like $24.99 or something along those lines. So buying the book and getting the code is definitely killing two birds with one stone because you're getting the training and the code.
And then they can just share from the app, like Kenzie was saying.
Yeah, that's been really helpful for our team.
I think that's a great idea. And you can just, especially if you wanted to gift it to a leader, you know, you just go on Amazon and ship it directly in that way. And then they've got both tools.
That will work perfectly for the challenge I have for my leaders this month with the book club. So that instead of just purchasing their leader or their strength finder, I can send them the book with the code, and that will be perfect. And it's cheaper on Amazon, you said, Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, you know how Amazon does, but it's anywhere between $15 and $17 depending on when you buy it.
Perfect. Thank you. Great idea.
It is possible to buy those books used, so make sure that you're buying them new. Otherwise, the code's already going to be used.
Oh, that's a good point.
And this did come up on the Silver and Above leadership call, I think, yesterday. There isn't going to be any bulk pricing because Gallup is so much bigger than doTERRA. It doesn't have to do with doTERRA having bulk pricing on codes or anything like that. It really, like, Gallup is huge, and they do this for a lot of really big companies. So yeah, we're not going to probably get any bulk pricing or anything like that anytime soon anyway. We'll wait till we hit that 20 to 30 billion mark, then maybe we'll start talking.
That'll be next year, Amanda, so no problem.
Hey, it's projected for the next 10 years, which is still really awesome growth. I'll take it. Not too fast. I need my stuff shipped to me.
Anybody else? So we'll post the link in there again, so people who haven't taken taken that can take that so we can continue to share the strengths. I think that's super important. What else was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. So if you haven't gone in and looked at what Joni just went through in the university, am I breaking up?
Try that one more time, Romy. No go.
Just go in and check out the website.
Turn the video on.
We can hear you. We got you.
Lord have mercy. So just go in there and check out all the tools that doTERRA is providing for us if you're not familiar with what Joni went over, as well as all the other stuff that's on that website. I think we have everything that we need really right there. So, and it's super important to be duplicatable, and that's a great way to be duplicatable. It's everything's right there. I mean, I looked for something like this when I first started. I just wanted something like this, and it's a transition, and I mean, I'm totally good with it. So now we have something good, and the people that we bring on, it'll make it easier for them to have the tools right at their fingertips. I like it.
This is a question that I have about all the old Live, Share, Build guides and everything. I've still got a few of the old. Are there places that could use those? Or should I just recycle?
I'm still going to use mine because I still have some old ones and they worked before. And anything that's kind of added or different, I can just, just make it a point as I'm going through it with my leaders. But I have a bunch of those still, so I'm just going to still use mine with my leaders.
Okay, Joni. Thank you.
Yeah, I think for the most part, the information, the basic information is the same. So I see nothing wrong with use what you got and then replenish with the new stuff as you need it.
Amanda, you're
Anybody else?
Are you meaning to raise your hand, Amanda?
I did earlier, but I said what I needed to say.
Oh, sorry. You just got to speak up in this crowd.
No sweat. Wanted to be polite.
All right, so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Ask in Rockstars if you want. Reach out to one of us, any of us. We'll help you out in that way. Are we doing a giveaway?
Yeah.
You can stop the recording, please.